What's going on YouTube? It's your main man King Bishop. So as promised, and I hope you guys can see it. I don't know if that's a little better. I think that's a little better. I promised you guys that I would come to you with a description of how I do my bookkeeping. Now this book here is where I keep all my loads. This book here is where I keep all my important documentation on the loads I've ran, and it details everything I need to know about that load. And I keep this book with me at all times, so I write down all my loads and what the loads are paying. This is not the book I keep as a pocket book as far as where I keep my bill of lading numbers and stuff of that nature. I have another book that I keep here that I keep all that information in, where I do little, not gonna show y'all that, but I keep this small book in my pocket while I'm dealing with the customers and such. But this is the book I keep for my records. So right here I have a sample load, and it is a sample, but the numbers that are included in this load are from another load that went to a similar location. So the numbers, as far as the money and the mileage, is correct. It's just all the other stuff is a sample. So the first thing I start off with is my load number up top. My load number is how I recognize the load. It's how the company recognizes the load. So that's always important. I always put it up top. I'm always put up top as well my pickup and drop date. On this load here, I would be picking it up on 6/12/16 and dropping it on 6/13/16. I recognize that it's a drop and hook and that the facility is 24 hours. Alright, so for here I got one going to the Richmond International Airport. I have the address here. It's going to Richmond, Virginia. It's picking up from Richmond, Virginia, and it is dropping off at the Jacksonville port, and that's the address. I write down what my paid miles are and what the actual miles are. Here at this company, with a lot of companies are going away from hub miles. Hub miles are front door to front door. Some companies use, which at this company, and a lot of companies, they use zip code to zip code. So for instance, this number here is what they're paying you for, because that's what their system is telling them is how many miles from the starting zip code to the ending zip code. Okay, it doesn't go from 1 Richard Byrd Drive, Terminal Drive to 11th Street. It's telling you how many miles it goes from 23250 to 32206. So that's what it's giving you the numbers for on a lot of companies' paid miles. This company uses Rand McNally system. So this is the actual numbers for one of the loads. The paid miles were at 598 miles. Once I put it in my GPS and it routed me, it actually ended up being 613 miles. So there's a 15-mile difference. Not that big of a deal. Another, 10 minutes behind the wheel is not that big of a deal. Always write down my trailer number, which is good, which is always important for me to reference. Excuse my ashiness, I just got out of the shower. But I write down my trailer number, which is always good for the records in case the company's back and they're like, hey man, that trailer you had a week and a half ago came back damaged. What happened? And I'm like, well, what trailer number? They're like, well, it was load number so and so. And I can say, well, I didn't have trailer 8592946. I had trailer number 8469239. Like, oh, okay, cool. My chassis number, I always put down my chassis number so I know which chassis I had that I pulled out of the chassis yard. If there's any questions or comments about that. Also, I write down the plate number. These things are all important because in this company's system, when you drop a trailer, they want to know this stuff. So as soon as I pick up a trailer and a chassis, I write all this stuff down because they want it so they can keep track of the trailers and where they went to. And then the VSL number, the VSSL number is the vessel number. That's the ship that it is going to or coming from. So this is another big piece of information, especially when you're entering the port, because they want to know that stuff. So I always start off with the line haul rate. The line haul rate is what the load is paying. Here at this company, as you guys know, I get paid 68% of the load. So for this load, 68% of the load end up paying for the line haul $563.13. We get 100% of the fuel surcharge. For this load, they charge the customer $158.44 fuel surcharge. If you don't know what the fuel surcharge is, the government makes a plan, and they make numbers or percentage of how much fuel is costing. So what this number here is, it's another fee charged to the customer by the company that helps cover the fuel for the company. But because I am an owner-operator and I am the company, the fuel surcharge goes 100% to me at this company. So like I said before, the rate for the fuel surcharge, which was 100% of it, was $158.44 for a total of $723.57. So that's how much I will be getting for this load. I always average out my rate per mile, and on this load, the rate per mile was $1.21. On this account I'm on, the rates per mile usually range between $1.17 a mile and $1.20 per mile. So 121 is pretty good, especially since it's a load that at 613 miles I can get on and off my truck in one day. My slogan is, keep your left door closed. If you can keep your left door closed, you can make money in this business. If you're the type of person that has to stop every 15 minutes, it's going to be hard for you to ever be successful, because the only way you're getting paid is to pick up and deliver these miles, and you cannot pick up and deliver these loads, and you can't do that while you're sitting at the truck stop in the Loves or the Flying J eating at Arby's. After I do all of my pay, at the end of my load, after all that's done, I do this before I start the load, the day I get the load. At the end of my load, I always do my expenses. So on this load, I had a toll at Chippenham Parkway in Richmond, Virginia. The toll cost me $5. So I write down that expense. On this account, running the containers for this company, this is the only portion of the company that does this. I get 100% reimbursement for my tolls. I also get 100% reimbursement for my scale tickets. Now, the load that was similar to this, the load was only like 13,000 pounds. So if you watched other videos, it was the one I had on a 20-foot container. So of course I didn't need to scale it. I knew I was going to be legal, so I didn't scale this load, but I did have to go to the toll. And also had a fuel. I got fuel at Speedway 4569, which is in South Carolina. I got 134.006 gallons. The rate per gallon was $2.15, so basically $2.16 per gallon. And I ended up spending $289.32, which put my total for my expenses at $294.32. Now, I have elected for the maintenance plan with my company to do 4 cents per mile. So the money that went in my maintenance account for this load was $23.92. I don't keep it at this. I do put extra money in, but as for this load, what they directly took out was $23.92. And I also have a certain amount that the company mandates you take out to cover IFTA, which is the fuel tax agreement. And that was $10.76. And they do that at basically at a little bit under 2 cents per mile. I will explain IFTA a little better once I learn more about it. I'm still learning it, so I cannot explain it to you guys. But those are my numbers. Now, the reason why I elected to do, I know people are going to ask why so low, why I only do 4 cents per mile, is because I have a 2015 truck. When I was at the Freightliner dealership, I was given my whole warranty packet. And because it's a 2015, 99% of the truck is still covered under the factory warranty for Freightliner. You know, the only things that aren't is basic maintenance. So, you know, oil change, tires, things of that nature. And here at my company, they gave us initially $1,000 that goes into a maintenance account and $500 that goes into a maintenance escrow account. And that money is available to you after 90 days, but it gives you a heads up on all type of maintenance costs that you may accrue within your first couple months. So that's why I elected to do such a small amount down here. But like I said, I will be putting money to the side on my own to cover some things, and that way If I'm able to get something cheaper, maybe I can get an oil change cheaper than what I can get it from the company. So I'll use my maintenance account at Joe's Diesel Mechanic and get the oil change on the truck done for, say, $70, where it would have cost me $120 or $110 with the company or with one of their affiliated shops. So that's why I elected to do such a small amount. And the tax thing, I didn't really understand that, and I still don't. So with all the money, extra money I'm putting aside, I will continue to put extra money aside for the IFTA, which that's what that tax is, really fuel tax. I'll continue to put money aside for that until I completely understand how that's all calculated. In the end of my load, I always put this up top. Good, I mean great, good, and horrible. And this lets me know how the load went for me. Also, if I had wrong address or difficult to get to, or put so-and-so address into the GPS because it'll get you closer to the shipper. Whatever kind of notes I have, I'll put up here. In this area, of course, sample won't be there, so I put it across the top so I know in the very beginning that this stuff is important to know. This load was a great load. It got me home. There's no issues with the shipper that I went to. Of course, like I said before, these are sample addresses. I'm not going to put actual customers up there because I do not want to get in trouble with the company for violating any privacy policies. So I just made this up. But the numbers are true, except for, chassis numbers and all that. Of course, the load number is not going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I gave some sample numbers, but the numbers of the line haul, the numbers of the expenses, and the numbers down here are all correct. It's just all this stuff I kind of made up in between. So I put this up here to make sure, to let myself know if I want to go back here, because I may get this load back in 4 months and not know and forget all about it. So I put this up here to let me know exactly how the load went for me. As always, guys, I appreciate y'all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe to the page. Let me know what you guys think. Any more topics? This one was given to me by another subscriber, so I hope this answers your questions on what I do for record keeping, a little small tally of what I do for record keeping. Hey man, I try to work hard to get to all you guys and answer your questions and get to your concerns. I'm still learning, and I appreciate y'all for being with this journey with me. As always, man, God bless y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.